What's up guys, Houndish here, firstly with the new logo hype. So my good friend Hutch has been working, grafting man, on coming up with this new logo design for the channel, which I'm absolutely in love with, so a massive shout out to Hutch for that. You will find his link in the description below, and I'll be curious to hear what you guys think of the kind of new look for the branding of the channel. Anyway, let's move on to some Destiny 2 news. So we've got a beta preload confirmed via PlayStation in Japan, which I'll talk about in a moment. I also wanted to speak about IGN's recent PvP gameplay, but also we're going to talk about huge story changes coming in Destiny 2, as well as a new way to track roaming supers in the game. So first up, we haven't heard from Bungie anything about preloading the beta, and whether that's going to be a thing or any times yet, but PlayStation Japan are now listing a download period time for Destiny 2's beta, and the starting time for that is around noon on July 17th. And that would be pretty early in the morning in the UK, around 4 AM, so probably around about 8 PM Pacific time. Importantly though, it is the day before the beta actually launches. And generally across the platform, these times are fairly universal. So even though this doesn't give us a specific time, it basically means that it will become available for preload the day before at some point. So if you're worried about preloading the beta, it looks like you are definitely going to be able to do that. As far as Xbox goes, there hasn't been any confirmation as of yet, but again, preloads are kind of expected now, so we'll almost certainly see one for Xbox. Xbox is also opening for early access a day later than the PlayStation, so there is a bit more of a time window there to get it preloaded. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I will leave the link to the official Japanese PlayStation page if you want to go and check it out. The thing to take note of is that July 17th is probably going to be the latest that they'll actually activate the preload for the game, so you should be fine. Moving on, I wanted to talk about IGN's gameplay from the recent PvP reveal. When this first came up, there was a bit of confusion because the Titan was moving at some pretty insane speeds. I pointed it out in one of my videos as well. And it kind of contradicts what we've been told and what we've seen from other gameplay so far. On top of this, we saw the Warlock Voidwalker using Blink, and there are some people who are saying that Bungie confirmed that would not be a thing in Destiny 2. So some other content creators and streamers are saying that this has been confirmed by people who work at Bungie, but on top of this, from people who've played, you know, the E3 build of the game or the reveal build of the game, it's become apparent that this gameplay is actually outdated. Essentially, the Titan that you're seeing here with the high movement speed is from a build of the game going back a little while right now. So from what I understand, IGN didn't actually play the gameplay that you're seeing right there. During Fireteam chat a couple of days before the IGN reveal, they said that the gameplay had been provided to them by Bungie. Now honestly, I have to say, because I'm a big Titan fan, when I saw the Sentinel moving around at those kind of speeds, I was pretty excited because it's fun to play that way. That doesn't mean that I don't recognize that that is not balanced in the Crucible. And a lot of people, after seeing this gameplay, have been speaking about, you know, the Hunter feels like it's going to be really lackluster, especially compared to things like the Sentinel Titan, but also the Voidwalker, you know, is looking pretty good. And this is why this is a bit of a problem, because we've actually seen gameplay that doesn't truly represent the way the game is designed to be played right now. And of course, to a degree, that's going to happen. We're going to see things that don't make it into the game, or that are changed, you know, potentially really drastically from one video to a beta to the release of the game, you know? But with us having seen Crucible with its new kind of balanced design and all of the changes that they implemented in the reveal and the E3 builds, it seems pretty poor to have distributed, you know, gameplay that is inaccurate like this, because these are fundamental changes. To some players, these are huge, and I think it's a shame that seeing gameplay like this, you know, is perhaps giving people an inaccurate idea of how the game is going to play. So I don't want to speculate about it anymore. I just wanted to point out that not everything you're seeing in this IGN gameplay is necessarily correct. And considering a lot of these bits of media will have been put together ready for IGN, I would be prepared for more gameplay over the next couple of weeks, which is not necessarily an accurate representation of how the game is going to play. So just bear that in mind. Moving on, IGN did have an interview with a couple of the story leads for Destiny 2, and they talk about how it's evolving from the original game. If Destiny 1 had a heartbeat, it was a nice methodical rhythm, which just kind of underpinned the experience. It was steady, it supported the world, but Destiny 2, this is like the heartbeat of someone who's just been to the gym. It's like a machine gun. They also spoke about how Destiny 1 asked a lot of questions that it didn't necessarily answer. And they're kind of focusing on answering some of the bigger questions, like the Traveler is a bit more involved in the core story of the game, and obviously we're going to learn more about it because it's such a core part of, you know, this attack from the Cabal and everything like that. They said that they think players are going to see a wide variety of story. There will be story infused throughout, from top to bottom, soup to nuts. There is story everywhere. So that's pretty cool, and we've kind of heard examples of that, you know, with the adventures on Nessus, for example, where Failsafe, the AI, sends you out to collect recordings, and these will lead you onto, you know, little subsections or bits of story that you wouldn't necessarily otherwise know about. And a big focus for the story is how do the Guardians respond to what is happening in the world and the losses that they face. They said that without light, am I a Guardian at all anymore? What does it mean to be chosen? What does it mean to be special in this world? Motivating the player comes down to creating relatable characters. If I can hook into Ghaul, Zavala or Cade, if I can understand the conflicts they have and I can map my goals onto their goals, I'm motivated through the story. So they're definitely putting a lot more focus into how to make the story relatable and engaging in the new game. Matthew Ward jokingly said, "I hope people complain about how much story we have. That'd be a Reddit thread I'd like to read. Too much damn story." But I think what's important here is that they are really layering the game with this kind of content. So if you're a player that is really focused on story and you want to learn more about the world, you want to learn that lore and kind of have it presented to you in the game, then that's definitely going to happen a lot more with Destiny 2. Finally, something worth pointing out in the IGN footage with some of the roaming supers, you can actually see they leave behind footsteps of the same element on the ground. So the Arcstrider right here, you can see there are blue footsteps going around, and then you have the kind of purple void footsteps for the Sentinel Titan. So this is definitely pretty interesting. It kind of links to that learnability and kind of presenting of information that Bungie wants to have inside of PvP. You know, if you're kind of in an intense close range engagement, it might give you a bit more information and you know to go, you know, the opposite way, and it may kind of cater to people of different experience levels with the game as well. You know, if you're some triple OG 2KD player, it may be something that you barely really use, but if you're brand new to the game, it could be a kind of nice introduction. So anyway, that about sums up what I wanted to talk about in this video, guys. It's definitely a very interesting time for the Destiny 2 conversation. A lot of stuff coming up. We have the beta next week, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. For now though, if you have enjoyed this video, a like is appreciated. It really helps me out on the channel. If you're new around here and you want to see more Destiny content, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. For now though, I appreciate you watching and I hope you have an awesome day.